Howdy folks, and welcome to American Nightmares, the YouTube channel where we rip the veil off the supernatural and stare straight into the abyss. I'm your host, Your Name, and tonight we're diving headfirst into 3 gut-punching tales of ghosts, cryptids, and downright nightmares that'll keep you up till dawn. From a cursed basement in Virginia to a feral attacker in the Montana wilds, these ain't Hollywood spooks. These are real folks, real fear, and real damn scares. So grab a flashlight, bolt the doors, and smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment below and let us know which country you're watching from. Let's see how far these nightmares spread. This is American Nightmares, and we're about to get haunted. In the sleepy town of Willow Creek, Virginia, 19-year-old Ethan Harper thought he was just crashing at his parents' new place for a final week before heading back to college. His folks had downsized to a 1960s ranch-style house, trading their big colonial for something smaller. Ethan had only swung by a few times, enough for a quick tour where his parents laid out the quirks. Most importantly, no basement, just a crawl space for utilities. "Ain't nothing down there but pipes and dirt," Tom had said, dead certain Ethan didn't give it a second thought. But that Tuesday night, alone while his parents were off on a week-long Caribbean cruise, something woke him from a dead sleep. It was a tapping sound, steady, rhythmic, like a hammer ticking out a code under the floorboards of his first-floor bedroom. At first, he figured it was the furnace or pipes settling. Old houses make noise, right? But the tapping didn't quit. It was too consistent, too deliberate, like someone was down there knocking to be let out. By Thursday, he was done rationalizing. The tapping returned, but now it was joined by new sounds, scraping, dragging, like claws raking wood or something heavy being hauled across dirt. "That ain't no animal," Ethan said aloud, his voice shaken in the dark. Desperate for answers, Ethan called his dad Friday morning. "You sure there's no basement?" he asked, describing the sounds. Tom sounded annoyed, like Ethan was making a fuss over nothing. "Check the crawl space," he said. "Probably a possum or something. Don't worry about it." Ethan wasn't thrilled about crawling under the house, but he grabbed a flashlight and headed to the crawl space entrance under the porch. Digging through dirt and cobwebs, he braced for a skunk or worse, but the space was empty. No animals, no tracks, just damp earth and pipes. "Nothing," he told his dad, frustrated. Tom seemed satisfied, but Ethan wasn't. The noises weren't random. They felt like a message. Determined to find something, Ethan scouted the house's exterior. He noticed a pile of old construction junk against the back wall, something he'd always ignored. On a hunch, he started moving the debris. What he found froze him solid. A rusted storm door, painted over and half buried, completely hidden by the junk his parents had sworn there was no basement. He pried the door open, revealing concrete steps descending into darkness. Every instinct screamed to walk away, but curiosity pushed him forward. Flashlight in hand, he crept down. The basement was small, with wooden beams and a dirt floor, but it wasn't empty. Scattered around were signs of life: empty food containers, crumpled water bottles, a tattered blanket. Worse were the markings, scratch marks like tallies carved into a pillar. On another beam, drawings, twisted figures, their limbs bent wrong, eyes hollow, like something out of a nightmare. He bolted upstairs, calling his parents in a panic. He then secured the storm door tight with a heavy-duty padlock. Nobody was getting in there. That night, at 2 a.m., a new sound jolted him awake: violent banging from outside. The storm door rattled. A shadowy figure sprinted across the grass, vanishing into the night. The police found nothing. Ethan documented his experience, posting shaky phone footage of the storm door and markings. The video hit 1 million views, sparking chilling speculation. Ethan Harper wasn't the type to scare easy. Growing up in Richmond, he'd faced down bullies, late-night shifts at a gas station, and even a carjacker once. But that week in Willow Creek, alone in his parents' new house, something broke his nerve. The ranch style was unassuming: red brick, white shutters, a tidy lawn that screamed suburbia. His folks had bought it cheap, a foreclosure deal, and Ethan figured it was just another old house with character. He'd spent the summer crashing there between college semesters, helping unpack and fixin' leaky faucets. The place felt normal, cozy even, until that first night alone. Tuesday's tapping started soft, like a kid knocking on a desk. Ethan, sprawled on his twin bed with Netflix humming, barely noticed at first. But as the minutes dragged, the sound grew sharper, more intentional. He muted his laptop, holding his breath. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from below, right under his room. Pipes, gotta be pipes, he told himself. But the rhythm was too perfect, too alive. He stood, barefoot on the hardwood, and followed the sound. It didn't shift, didn't fade, just echoed from the floor, like it was daring him to dig deeper. He checked the thermostat, thinking the furnace was acting up, but it was off. The house was dead quiet, save for that relentless tapping. Sleep didn't come easy. Ethan tossed, the noise fading around 3 a.m. Morning brought relief. He laughed it off over coffee, blaming the house's age. But Wednesday night, the tapping returned, louder, like someone was using a hammer now. Ethan's rational side crumbled. He texted his buddy Jake, a mechanic who knew old houses. Probably a loose pipe, Jake said. Bang on the floor, scare it off. Ethan tried, stomping hard, but the tapping only got faster, mocking him. He slept with the lights on, feeling like a kid scared of the boogeyman. Thursday was when shit hit the fan. The tapping kicked off at 1 a.m., but now it was joined by scraping. Long, slow drags, like nails on a chalkboard, mixed with thuds of something heavy moving. Ethan's mind raced. Raccoons? Rats? But the sounds were too big, too deliberate. He grabbed his phone, recording a shaky scene for American Nightmares, his voice low. Y'all, this ain't normal. Something's under my room, and there's supposed to be nothing down there. The audio caught it. Tap, tap, scrape, thud, clear as day. He posted it later, hoping for answers. But at the time, he was alone with the dark Friday morning. He called his dad. Tom, sipping pina coladas on a cruise ship, sounded more annoyed than worried. Check the crawl space. Ethan bet it's a critter. Don't make a big deal. Ethan groaned, but suited up. Jeans, boots, a flashlight from the garage. The crawl space entrance was a hatch under the porch, half buried in dirt. He pried it open, cobwebs sticking to his face, and crawled in. The space was tight, maybe 3 feet high, all dirt and pipes. He swept the beam around, expecting glowing eyes or scat. Nothing. No nests, no tracks, just damp earth. Bullshit, Ethan muttered, crawling out, his unease growing. If it wasn't animals, what the hell was it? He wasn't done. Something was off, and he needed answers. He circled the house, checking for vents or holes. That's when he saw the construction pile. Old lumber, tarps, concrete blocks, stacked against the back wall. It had been there since they moved in, ignored as junk. Ethan started pulling it apart, thinking maybe it hit a broken vent. Boards clattered, dust choking him, until he saw it. A storm door, painted to blend with the siding, hidden like a secret. His heart skipped. No way, he said, running his hand over the rusted handle. It was real, and it led somewhere. The door creaked open, revealing concrete steps vanishing into black. Ethan's gut screamed to call the cops, but his folks' words echoed. No basement. He had to know. Flashlight shaken, he descended. The air turned cold, reeking of mold and something sour, like old food. The basement was small, with wooden beams and a dirt floor. His beam caught glints, cans, bottles, a ratty blanket. Someone had been living here and not just passing through. Then he saw the markings. Tallies scratched into a pillar, dozens of them, like days counted in a prison. On another beam, drawings, people with twisted limbs, animals with hollow eyes, symbols that looked like they belonged in a horror flick. Ethan's stomach churned. This is some satanic shit, he whispered, snapping photos for proof. He was out of there in seconds, calling his parents from the kitchen. There's a freaking basement, and someone's been living in it, he yelled. Tom and Linda were stunned, swearing the realtor never mentioned it. "You sure it's empty?" Tom asked, voice shaken. Ethan nodded, but those drawings haunted him, violent, wrong, like a mind unhinged. His folks promised to come home early, and Ethan wasn't taking chances. He drove to Ace Hardware, bought a padlock thick as his wrist, and locked the storm door tight. "Stay out, asshole," he muttered, hoping it'd hold. That night, sleep was a pipe dream. At 2 a.m., banging erupted, loud, furious, from the storm door. The whole house shook as someone, hammered the lock, rattling the frame. Ethan froze, phone in hand, too scared to breathe. The noise was primal, like a caged animal, and it went on for minutes, each hit a promise of violence. Then, silence. Ethan crept to the window, peering into the backyard. A figure, tall, shadowy, sprinted across the grass, melting into the trees. No face, no details, just a ghost in the moonlight. Ethan's legs gave out. He sank to the floor, clutching his phone, too rattled to call 911. The cops came at dawn, poking around the basement. They bagged the trash, photographed the markings, but found no prints, no DNA. Probably a vagrant, they said. Promising extra patrols, Ethan wasn't buying it. Vagrants don't draw demonic shit. His parents rolled in that afternoon, hugging him tight, vowing to seal the basement with concrete. Ethan left for college next day, but the fear stuck. His American Nightmares post, with clips of the door and drawings, blew up, hitting 1.5 million views. Comments poured in. Cult hideout? Demonic squatter? Town records showed the house had unpermitted work in the 80s. Maybe a secret bunker. Ethan's still waiting for his parents' updates, praying the lock holds American nightmares. Some homes hide more than dust.